Welcome very much to the New Spanish Academy. Bienvenido a la nueva Academia de Español in different formats as you can see it. And of course, we are learning Spanish, so let's learn Spanish. Now we're going to do some drills, some exercises, and these short videos are for you to feel comfortable and ready in specific situations, specific contexts, and not just feel comfortable, ready, and have it as a second nature, but also I give you, for that reason, in a redundant manner, different ways of saying it, because that is the way to learning, redundancy. This is what I've been preaching since the very beginning, and I hear nobody else saying it. So right now we're looking at the word understand, all right? Everybody knows understand, right? In Spanish is entiendes or comprendes. Same meaning. In English, you've heard people in movies maybe say comprende, even when they're speaking English, because for some reason the word comprendes became more common, for English speakers. But in reality, entiendes is actually, I would say, a little bit more common. So I would say that when we speak, we use entiendes more than comprendes. So I would say it's about 60-40, 65-35, something like this, okay? So both are basically equal. All right, so entiendes right here, I have it as a second person, all right? So if we go into the verb system, entender, right? So this is with the ER. So entender, comprender. All right, that's how we find the verb in the dictionary. But here I've written to you in second person, meaning when I'm talking to you. When I'm talking to you, I say entiendes, and you answer entiendo. But we're looking at entiendes because usually that's what we hear in conversations. Do you understand? And so on. But we're going to look also at how you say I understand, okay? Understood as well. Okay, so we have here entiendes, comprendes. Talking to you. And then we have second person, entiende, comprende, but in a way is the third person, the third conjugation, basically. But this is when I'm talking to basically to usted, basically respectfully. So I would say usted entiende, and here I would say tú entiendes, tú entiendes, tú comprendes. Usted entiende, usted comprende. Now here how I say usted entiende. I made a connection. Usted, the, and So I say usted entiende. I connect the words together. Entiende. All right? Usted entiende. Now the words are not written together, for some of you who might play smart here, but we speak it like this. Usted entiende. Yeah? Okay, usted entiende. And what if we say like this? Usted entiende. That's a trick to get like the soft Latin American accent, or even in some parts of Spain, the Canarian accent, for example. Usted entiende. Okay, very well. Now the same here, but here is in plural. As you may know now, plural is when we're talking to many people. So you guys. We, you, they. Here is you guys. So in Spain, they have a conjugation where they say entendéis, right? Entendéis, comprendéis, and this is proper Spanish. In Latin America, we usually say same as usted, but in plural. So it would be basically let me put it here. It would be basically ustedes, you guys. ¿Entienden? ¿Comprenden? So initially it is a respectful way, just as here, but in Latin America it just became common, all right? It's not that you guys are more respectful and such, or in Spain they are less respectful. It just became, here is vosotros. It just became like habit. Okay, vosotros entendéis in Spain, vosotros comprendéis, ustedes entienden, ustedes comprenden. Now, if you're in Spain, you can say ustedes entienden, it's fine. And if you're in Latin America, you can also say vosotros entendéis, but people will just assume that you learn Spanish in Spain or that you're from Spain if your accent is good. Okay, now from here, we are covering the basics, okay? And this is just second person present tense. Second person tú, second person usted, second person plural vosotros, second person plural ustedes. All right. So this took a while to explain and to go through, but we're gonna go now with examples. But it's very important that you have this covered, even though it might be boring, okay? This will help you understand better. Now here we have here, ¿me entiendes? Me, to me, understand. To me, you understand. Remember that entiendes is tú, ¿me entiendes? Here I can, of course, add tú, ¿me entiendes? But it's not necessary because it's entiendes. It's already implying that it is tú. So we don't have to say tú me entiendes, but you can. Now here we have entiendes lo que te digo. ¿Entiendes lo que te digo? Entiendes lo que te digo. Now understand it, what to you I say. So do you understand it, what to you I say? Do you understand what I say? Do you understand what I'm saying? Telling you. You can, of course, also say comprendes lo que te digo. Now, if we want to go through the other examples, of course, you might wonder, then it is ustedes or vosotros. Entendéis lo que... Now the question is here, what? Is it te digo? Because te digo is to you. Now it is ustedes. So it's you guys. Second conjugation of plural. Then we say os digo, lo que os digo. So remember that in English we say us and it means we. In Spanish we say os and it means you guys. Okay, maybe that association will help, and remember that it's opposite. Now, if we're talking about ustedes, then we'll say ustedes entienden lo que digo. All right. Tac. So here, let me take this away. We're using the word entiendes now. Okay, so let's stick to entiendes. Basically, will be the same with comprendes. So let's just stick with entiendes, okay? To have this part covered. Lo que te digo, lo que te digo, lo que os digo, okay? And here we're talking to tú. ¿Entiendes lo que te digo? Let's use usted. Usted entiende. Usted entiende lo que. Now is it te? Te is to you. Okay, let me make it clear. Let me make it like this. I'm adding things because I might wonder, do you understand what I'm saying? Because for some of you it's like, of course. But somebody else is like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean, sir? Vosotros. All right. Let me make it like that. Like that. Beautiful. Okay. And here we have ustedes, basically. Okay. So tú entiendes lo que te digo. Because it's tú. Usted. Formally you. My grandma, for example. Usted entiende lo que. What? Lo que le digo. ¿Usted entiende lo que le digo? Vosotros entendéis lo que os digo. And here we have, ustedes entienden lo que. What do you think it will be here? What do you think should be here? So if usted is le digo, then ustedes entienden lo que les digo. All right. Tac. Very good. So here, ¿entiendes lo que te digo? I'm saying it very fast, but I don't want you to learn it slowly, then go to some country and know what they're saying technically, but not understanding. And then you go home and it's like, oh, he said, ¿entiendes lo que te digo? But he said, ¿entiendes lo que te digo? And I didn't understand, but actually I should have understood. That's why I'm, getting you ready. Anyways, ¿entiendes lo que te digo? Entiende lo que le digo. ¿Entendéis lo que os digo? ¿Entendéis lo que os digo? Entienden lo que les digo. Now here, entendéis, remember vosotros. Usually, when we talk about vosotros, the verb, when it's conjugated, is changed. You usually have this little thing above of the entendéis, where the intonation is, right? It's called tilde. Okay, so we have it covered. Now I'm gonna make, like ideally when I start this, and the reason of these drill videos is to make it short and concise and give you a lot of different ways of saying it. But I get stuck sometimes in the grammar, okay? Because I start thinking about other ways and, things that will help you in the future. Okay, so Okay, let's copy this. And now look at this. ¿Entiendes lo que te digo a ti? Do you understand what I tell to you? ¿Entiende? Now let's do like this. Let's make this boom like this. All right. Like this. All right. I'm gonna change color. All right. Good. Perfectly. All right. So here, ¿entiendes lo que te digo a ti? A and A and A and A. This means to you, a ti. Now we see here, to is you, and to you, all of a sudden, is not a tú, but a ti. Complications. You know, when you get this type of complications, the first time you hear something new and it becomes like, oh my God, there's another layer to this. Just don't think logically like that. Take it more like, okay, keep going. All right, keep going. So, entiende lo que le digo a usted. Same here, no change. So, because this changed, I'm gonna go give it some color here. Let's see what color I can put, like this. Yeah, because it changed, okay? Vosotros entendéis lo que os digo a vosotros. Doesn't change. ¿Entendéis lo que os digo a vosotros? Y ustedes entendéis entienden lo que les digo a ustedes. So, the only change was here, a ti. Anyways, so either we say, tú entiendes lo que te digo, or you can say, entiendes lo que te digo a ti. Or you can only say, if you want, entiendes lo que te digo. You can say, usted entiende lo que le digo. Or you can say, entiende lo que le digo a usted. But the best common way is to just say, entiende lo que le digo. ¿Entendéis lo que os digo a vosotros? ¿Vosotros entendéis lo que os digo? Or just say, ¿entendéis lo que os digo? See here, lo que os digo. Alright? ¿Ustedes entienden lo que les digo? ¿Entienden lo que les digo a ustedes? ¿Entienden lo que les digo? Keep it simple, alright? Now, I started with a simple sentence and then I complicated it by explaining this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Now that we are there, let's now start looking at other examples, okay? We started with ¿entiendes? ¿Me entiendes? And you can just reply, claro que sí. Claro que sí. Of course that yes. Of course yes. Or just, claro que te entiendo. Claro que te entiendo. Claro que te entiendo. Alright? You can also say, te entiendo claramente. I understand you clearly. Now remember, all the words that in English finish with li, in Spanish is mente. Clear, clara, li. Clearly, claramente. Te entiendo claramente. Okay? You can also say, te entiendo, or, for the sake of variety, te comprendo completely. How is completely? Completamente, right? All right, te entiendo completamente. Now, we can also say something like, entendido. Entendido. That is basically understood. Entendido. You can also say, me has entendido. Me has. To me, have you understood? In other words, have you understood what I said? Have you understood me? Now, how do I say, have you understood what I said? Has entendido. Now we're looking at this tense, which is called participle, right? Have done, have said, have understood. Has entendido. Now, the sake of these drills lessons is for you to basically just learn the phrase without thinking about the grammar, right? So just learn this sentence, which is already in a specific tense, in a specific grammar. So learn just the phrase, and learn it means such thing, right? Learn it means have you understood. Then when you go out to look at the videos of the verbs, which we have a full video, full 1 hour, where I only speak about the verb entender, and I go through all tenses, and I explain the tenses, and I give examples of the tenses, right? So now I'm just giving you ready phrases, okay? ¿Has entendido lo que he dicho? Now, dicho is basically the same as digo. Now, digo is right now. Dicho is, again, participle, because I say have understood, have said. All right? So I say is yo digo. I have said is yo he dicho. Now again, this is another grammar, conjugation. So I just want you to remember this. ¿Has entendido lo que te he dicho? Now, you know that it means what? Have. I already said it, but this time I want to write. Have you understood what I said? All right, what I've said. Understand here? Have you understood what I said? Okay. ¿Has entendido lo que te he dicho? Now, what I've said. What about if I want to say what I've said to you? Right? It would be something like what I've told you, in other words. In Spanish, it is lo que te he dicho. Te he dicho. So to you goes before he, right? Lo que te he dicho. Okay? Now let's look at this. ¿Has entendido lo que te he dicho? ¿Has entendido lo que te he dicho? Now we want to make a connection here. It's very important. I said it 1,000 times and I said it again because when you learn something, you need to repeat it 1,000 times. Just like the word dicho is like, what was it? What was it? You're going to remember it after a while. So here, has entendido, has entendido, has entendido. Say it with me, please. When I repeat something 10 times, I want you to repeat after the second time. You have to understand that you have to, do it with me. Okay? Has entendido, has entendido, has entendido. And I want to, for fun's sake, to say has entendido. Has entendido. Now, in Spanish, of course, the H has no sound. But for the sake of you speaking English, here I want you to say entendido, has 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 entendido. Okay, now say has entendido, has entendido, has entendido, has entendido. This you will understand in the future to play with the accents. All right, you're gonna learn how to play with the accents. I've told you before, if you want to learn good Spanish, good accents, good pronunciation, and play with accents, be a person who knows how to play around with the accents. So when you speak Spanish, of course, my attempt of speaking British might not have been the best, but you understood that I attempted to speak some British accent, right? And in that same manner, you will in the future attempt to speak with Argentinian accent, with Mexican accent, and whatever, right? So that's my idea, that you're gonna have fun with it, okay? That's why I say, has entendido, has entendido, has entendido, has entendido, has entendido, has entendido. Okay, now, has entendido lo que te he dicho. Now, you can also say, no entiendo nada. No entiendo nada. I don't understand anything. No entiendo nada. No entiendo nada. No entiendo. No entiendo qué pasa. I don't know what's going on. What's happening? What's up? No entiendo qué pasa. Now, no entiendo qué es lo que está pasando. All right. Now it becomes more fun. When I say fun, maybe you're thinking it becomes more difficult. But let's look difficult at fun as fun. Why? Because if you are a beginner, to some extent, or even people who already are to some extent fluent, they still make mistakes in some basic phrases, in some basic ways of speaking, and so on. I told you I speak different languages. I'm also just as fluent in Russian, for example, and and sometimes I'm speaking, very fluently, and there's like a word that I'm like, how is this? Why do I not know this word? Okay, so it happens to all of us, regardless of your level. It is fun when you manage to say something well, say something proper, okay? Especially if you're a person who already knows Spanish and you missed one thing and you're like, oh, how did I miss that? Okay, so let's see here. No entiendo lo que está pasando. Now, you can add here, If you say nada, I want you to say nada de nada. Nothing of nothing. It's just a way of speaking. Of course, this can be a generalized way of expressing yourself. I don't understand nothing of nothing. If you just say I don't understand nothing, it can be related to this particular situation. Okay, so no entiendo qué pasa. Simple way. No entiendo qué es lo que está pasando. Now what happens here? What is this? Pasando, ando. It reminds us of the English ing. Passing. What's passing? What does it mean? I don't understand what's passing. I don't understand what's going on. Okay? I don't understand what goes on. What's up? I don't understand what's going on. So, is going. Está pasando. It is ing. Going. Go ing. Está. It is pasando. Está pasando. Alright? Now you can ask, for example, you can ask like this. ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué está pasando? What is happening? You enter a conversation and you say, hey, ¿qué está pasando? Alright? You are the life of the party. Or you just wonder. You can also say, ¿qué está pasando aquí? ¿Qué está pasando aquí? ¿Qué está pasando aquí? You can also say, ¿qué es lo que está pasando? ¿Qué es lo que está pasando? You can also say what? ¿Qué es lo que está pasando aquí? All right. So we're learning different phrases, and now we just went off from the verb of the day, which was entender. All right. Which was entender. ¿Has entendido? ¿Has entendido? ¿Has comprendido? Have you understood? ¿Has comprendido? No creo, I don't think, no creo que te he entendido. I don't think that I have understood. If I say no creo que he entendido. But if I say no creo que te he entendido, I don't think I to you have understood. I don't think I have understood you. No creo que te he entendido. Okay? Allora, what else can we say here? Te entiendo, or let's see here. La entiendo, I understand her. Demasiado, you know this word. Demasiado bien. Okay? Yeah. ¿Entendéis lo que os estoy diciendo? ¿Entendéis? You guys. The Spanish, remember it has a tilde, the little accent. You guys understand it, what to you guys, os estoy diciendo. Estoy diciendo, remember, I am saying. Right? I am saying, diciendo. I am talking, hablando. I am jumping, saltando. I am speaking, hablando, you already said that. I am eating, comiendo. All right. Estoy, I am saying, in. Ando, endo. Diciendo, hablando, saltando, comiendo. Okay? ¿Entendéis lo que os estoy diciendo? And remember here, oses. And here we have eoses. Lo que os sé. So, we practice what? Eose. Let's go. Eose. I don't want you to say eose. Like an average foreigner. I want you to sound good. So say eose. ¿Entendéis lo que os estoy diciendo? Lo que os estoy diciendo. What if we say like this? Lo que os estoy. Say it with me. Lo que os estoy diciendo. ¿Entendéis lo que os estoy diciendo? ¿Entendéis lo que os estoy diciendo? ¿Entendés lo que os estoy diciendo? Okay? I'm playing with different accents. Somebody might say, but that's not proper. But guess what? half or more than half of the Spanish-speaking world speak like that. Okay, so if I only teach you the S this way, let's call it the proper way, you might still fall back to your whatever German, French, you know, Japanese, Swedish, Danish, Chinese accent. But as I give you this way and then I give you the one with the H, then you have different legs to fall back on, as I like to say. Okay. Entonces, this is a good word. It means so. And then, entonces, let's see. When you hear the word a lot of people, when they are thinking in Latin America, in Spanish, we say this, all right, ¿qué era lo que te iba a decir? ¿Qué era lo que te iba a decir? What was it that I was going to tell you? ¿Qué era? What was it? ¿Qué es is what's now, right? ¿Qué era is what was it? It, which to you I was to tell. What was I gonna tell you? ¿Qué era lo que te iba a decir? ¿Qué era lo que te iba a decir? ¿Qué era lo que te lo que te iba let's go. ¿Qué te iba let's go. ¿Qué te iba ¿qué era lo que te iba a decir? ¿Qué era lo que te iba a decir? What was it that I was gonna tell you? Perfect. Okay, so ¿entienden? Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to right now? Ustedes, all right? ¿Entiende? Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? Usted, to you formally, my grandma. Usted entiende? You understand? Entiende? What if I say ¿entendéis? Who am I talking to? ¿Entendéis? Vosotros, ¿entendéis? You guys understand. What if I say ¿comprendes? Who am I talking to? Do you understand? Tú comprendes. All right? How do I say I understand clearly? Come on, how do I say I understand clearly? So entiendes is you understand. How is I understand? Remember, I is usually entiendo, and clearly is clear. Is it clear? Li is what in Spanish? Li. Is it clearmente? Is it clearmente? But clear in Spanish would be not clear, but claramente. Entiendo claramente. All right, I understand clearly. Entiendo claramente. All right, so entiendo claramente what? It that you are telling me. How do I say entiendo claramente? I understand clearly it that you are telling me. It would be what? Lo que. All right, lo que. It what? Or it which? Lo que. Entiendo claramente lo que. I understand clearly it what? What you're telling me. Lo que. And we usually say it what? To me you are telling. Entiendo claramente lo que me. And then you are telling is what? ing. Ando. Endo. And to say is what? Digo, I say. Dices, you say. How is ing? Saying. Digondo. Dices. Diciendo. No. Diciendo. ¿Entiendo claramente lo que me diciendo? No. is you are saying. You cannot say I saying this. You have to say am. I am saying this. And how is or you are saying? You cannot just say I saying this, you saying this. Right now we have I understand clearly it what to me saying. We need to hear you are saying, right? Here we need to have you are saying. So how do we say you are saying is me estás diciendo. Entiendo claramente lo que me estás diciendo. It is not a question though. Entiendo claramente lo que me estás diciendo. All right? Okay. Ya, you know that means already. Ya creo, I understand, or I build. Or I believe, you know? So it's funny because when you say in English believe, you believe and then you will be leave. You live. Believing. You will be living what you believe. Interesting, right? Now in Spanish, the word creo means both build and sorry, not build but create and believe. So basically when you say yo creo, ya means already, yo means I, all right? Yo creo means I create and I believe. So what you believe, you create. You see why I love languages? Now let's look at this. I just, again, I digress, you know, I just leave the topic. But let's see here. Yo creo or ya creo que entiendo todo. Now I think that I understand everything. Ya creo, now I believe that I understand everything that you have told me. That you have told me. Ya creo que entiendo todo. What? It. What? To me, have told me. Where do we have told me? Do we have it here? Is have, I have, but if it's you have, how was it you have? He dicho, I have said, has. ¿Me has entendido? To me, have you understand? So have you is as. Now, dicho is said. So he dicho, has dicho. Just as in English, when we have understood, it just remains understood. In Spanish, the same. Entendido remains entendido. So it can be he entendido, has entendido. What changes is the have. Have understood, has understood. So, he entendido, has entendido. Dicho is said. Has entendido lo que te he dicho. Have you understood it, what to you I have said. I have said, he dicho. Has, you have is to us, dicho. All right, now let's go to the last. Ya creo, I believe that I understand all it which to me has dicho. Ya creo que entiendo todo lo que me has dicho. Understood? So, this was this amazing lesson. Pretty crazy. It was supposed to be a short drill, but I think you got a little bit more than that. You know, you can't complain. We over-deliver. I want to, basically make these lessons last 5 minutes because we have the other lessons that are 40, 50, 60 minutes. And sometimes you don't have enough time. So I still want you to get in the class, get inside the course, and open up a short video so you keep learning daily. Now in this case, unfortunately, in some crazy way, it's a bit longer, but you got something very насыщенный, like they say in Russian, like very full, very filled. right? With you know, everything. All right, so you got a lot of examples that you can use talking to people. So let's just get through it quickly. ¿Entiendes? ¿Comprendes? Same. ¿Entiende usted? ¿Comprende usted? ¿Vosotros entendéis? ¿Vosotros comprendéis? ¿Ustedes entienden? ¿Comprenden? Now this is all present tense. Of course, in past tense it will be entendí, entendía, comprendiste, comprendías, he comprendido, entendido, and so on. All right, so we are gonna, this is the idea of this lesson, is to give you phrases. ¿Entiendes lo que te digo? ¿Entiendes lo que te digo a ti? ¿Entiendes lo que le digo a usted? ¿Me entiendes? ¿Ok? ¿Entendido? ¿Has entendido lo que te he dicho? ¿Entiendes lo que te he dicho? No entiendo nada de nada. ¿Ok? ¿Qué está pasando aquí? ¿Has entendido? ¿Has comprendido? No creo que te he entendido. La entiendo demasiado bien. La is to her. She. If it will be to him, lo entiendo demasiado bien. La entiendo clearly. All right. So here, yo creo que entiendo todo lo que me has dicho. Okay? So feel comfortable when it's time to talk, when it's time to understand, because this is a phrase that you are always going to use, this word, entender. And it's good if you are fluent with it. Now, are there other ways of, other types of expressions that you can use that I might have missed? Sure. In that case, write in the comments and I will make an extra video, maybe a bit shorter, condensed with all the list, okay? That was it. This is La Nueva Academia de Español, the new Spanish Academy. Let's learn Spanish and join our course. Check the link. And nos vemos en la próxima clase. See you in the next lesson.